The crowning that didn't end as expected. Imagine being crowned the queen of a national pageant, the spotlight shining, your name etched into history, and then, when it's time to pass the crown, you decide not to show up. Sounds impossible? That's exactly what Miss USA 2024, Alma Cooper, has done. Hours before the 2025 pageant finals, she posted a cryptic message: she will not attend the pageant, won't take part in the crowning ceremony, and she offered no full public explanation beyond values, integrity, and self-worth. Why would someone skip the big moment? And what does this mean for the legacy of her reign, and for the future of the pageant itself? Let's dig in. Who is Alma Cooper? The background behind the crown. Alma Cooper isn't what you might think when you hear pageant winner. She grew up in Michigan, became an Army officer, and studied at prestigious institutions while also pursuing modeling and pageantry. She holds the title of Miss USA 2024, an impressive achievement in its own right. During her reign, she didn't just wear a crown, she ran marathons, advocated for change, and balanced military service and academics. But behind the glamour she admitted to facing walls, moments of intense pressure, self-doubt and heavy expectations. So when Alma announced her absence from the 2025 crowning, it wasn't some spontaneous rebellion, it came from someone with depth, mission, and a different perspective on what winning means. Curious how that led to the decision? Let's move on. Cryptic, quiet, and immediately viral. On October 24, 2025, hours before the finals of Miss USA 2025 in Reno, Nevada, Alma posted: "After much consideration, I've made the extremely difficult decision not to attend this year's Miss USA pageant and crowning ceremony." She wrote about closing the chapter with integrity and my self-worth held high, just like the crown I was honored to wear. This announcement came out of nowhere for many pageant fans. The previous title holders are expected to be present at the finale, to pass the torch. Instead, Alma's absence challenged tradition. The organization responded briefly, telling media they hoped she might participate in whatever capacity she is most comfortable. What prompted this move? Was it personal values? Professional commitments? Something deeper inside the organization? The public was left guessing. Let's explore the wider context. Pageant turbulence and shifting priorities. The Miss USA organization has had a turbulent few years. The 2023 winner unexpectedly resigned, citing a toxic work environment, and the Miss Teen USA titleholder around the same time did likewise. Add to that leadership changes, a new CEO took over in September 2025, promising reform. In this atmosphere, Alma's decision takes on an added layer of meaning. She isn't just stepping away from a ceremony, she's quietly signaling that for her, the crown and what it represents may have changed. When you've run marathons and served as an Army officer, the traditional pageant moment might feel different. Her message emphasized values, self-worth, integrity. Could this be the opening salvo in redefining pageant culture, or simply a personal boundary being drawn? Either way, the ripple effects are real. Next, let's look at how the public is reacting. Reactions, support, speculation, and social media buzz. When the news broke, social media lit up. Some applauded Alma for prioritizing authenticity and refusing to simply go through the motions. Others speculated, was this about money? Internal politics? Or a quiet protest? Pageant commentators noted, her military background and academic pursuits set her apart from past winners. Some expressed hope she'd use her next chapter in service and advocacy rather than pageant appearances. Others worried, will this set a precedent where winners simply opt out of the finale? Amid all the chatter, one thing stands out: Alma framed her decision not as a rejection of pageantry itself, but as an alignment with her own terms. And that shift in tone is intriguing. Ready to see what this means for her and the organization moving forward? Let's continue. What this move means for Alma, and for pageant legacy. For Alma Cooper, skipping the 2025 crowning doesn't erase her year as Miss USA 2024. Rather, it underscores her focus on self-worth over appearances. She has previously shared how running a marathon taught her resilience, that titles don't define your legacy but actions do. For the Miss USA organization, the absence of the outgoing queen at the finale is unprecedented and symbolic. The torch-passing moment is expected. This change could signal more flexibility in how winners participate or appear, potentially opening up the format. For fans and aspiring contestants, the moment raises questions. What does it mean to complete a reign? Is presence mandatory, or can purpose define completion? Alma's message suggests the latter. There are lessons here about commitment, identity, and the evolving nature of pageantry in the ultra-connected era. Actionable takeaways. Define your why beyond the role. Alma didn't just win a crown, she ran marathons, served, studied. Ask yourself, why am I here? Recognize when a role ends, not just when time's up. For Alma, the reign ended not simply when the next winner was crowned but when she felt her readiness to move on. Set boundaries aligned with your values. Choosing not to attend doesn't mean giving up, it can mean choosing integrity over optics. Redefine success on your own terms, whether in pageants, a job, or a relationship. The goal isn't always to tick every box, it's to honor the one that matters most to you. Prepare the next chapter, not just the next moment. Instead of thinking only about the ceremony, Alma's mindset was about years of service ahead. A crown worn on her terms. Alma Cooper's decision to skip the 2025 pageant might have startled some, but what she did was more than a headline. It was a statement that crowns and ceremonies are meaningful, yes, but only if they align with what you believe. She walked off stage on her own terms, on her own timeline, with integrity, self-worth, and a vision for what comes next. In a world where expectations often dictate moves, her exit reminds us that sometimes the most powerful thing is not to appear but to be true. Now we'd love to hear from you. Do you see Alma's move as courageous, risky, or both? Share your thoughts, tag someone who might find this moment inspiring, and let's start a conversation about what crowns really mean.